Crown Tantra, 2020 Tantra now available. Info in the description. Talking about this entropy. So hot and cold, or male and female, black and white, and the entropy of life. How essentially you have your grandparents. So your parents are your children, if you can follow me that far. So because you will have your grandparents will have your parents, and then your parents will have you, and that's the cycle that's been going on. But the real entropy that's happening is the males are females from last life, and the females are males from last life. And those who were dark become light, those who was light become dark. Because again, in the beginning, you got darkness coming into the light. So the male will be absolutely dark, and the female will be slightly lighter. It should be a reflection of a reflection, because the male is the reflection of the source of light, and then she's the direct reflection. So, because for the source to take a look at itself, it has to take masculine form, because the source in physical form is feminine. So to observe the physical source, you need to be in masculine form. So that is how the seed is coming from the ether through the male into the female and into the 3D. So this is how the male comes into the darker male comes into the lighter female every time, regardless. The darker male is coming into the lighter female. So he's turning himself into a lighter female. She's turning herself into a darker male, because that's the merger. That's the entropy. So the grandmoms become their grandsons. The grandfathers become their granddaughters. And if you look at a female male is a male that's more so ruled by a lunar body, which would be Venus, so Libras, or Cancers, Mercurial. You could be, it's a 50-50 if it's Mercurial, if that's your ruler. But if the moon is ruling you, which is Artemis, Venus, and Jupiter, and you're a male, so that'd be Sagittarius, Libra, Cancer. Though if you're a male and those are your heavy traits, then you're a female male. If you're a female and your heavy traits are sun signs like Capricorn, because Capricorn is Saturn, which is the sun, Leo, which is our sun, Apollo, or Mars. If you're a Mars, if you have a heavy Mars, which is Aries, if you have that in you and you're a female, if those are your traits, so if it's Mars, Saturn, or Leo, which is Apollo, so you have your Leo, Aries, and Capricorn. Those are the masculine sons. If you're a female with those heavy traits, then you're a male female. So that's the entropy here. That's the hot and the cold. That's the dark and the light. That's the male and the female. That's the binary code that regulates the physical existence. As soon as you stop judging and stop seeing separation, then you stop the illusion, and you stop respawning from the subconscious, because the judging makes you fall into time and space, into limitation. You stay in judging, so then you continue to be turned into what you judge until you stop judging it. So when you open your eyes in this matrix, you're in the subconscious, the collective subconscious. So every time you open your eyes in it, you are bringing light into the collective subconscious. So when you get away from the matrix and you're more in nature, away from the grid, then you're respawning from nature, from consciousness, from immortality, from that place, closer to that place. So again, visual memory, which is RAM, Mars backwards. Visual memory, if your visual memories are all the matrix, that's what you always respawn from. Your subconscious is filled with that. If your subconscious has no nature in it and it's not filled with any harmony, then it can't respawn. It only knows junk data. It's only respawning from the matrix data. That's the template it knows. So you have to go back to nature, live in harmony, so your body can get in total ease and relaxed, and to where it can remember itself by being in a place that remembers itself. Natural environments will force you to remember yourself, or you'll just be purged of the place. So if you stay in that place and your memories are that, and you keep your eyes closed for long enough, and you're only respawning from that environment, then you retrain your subconscious to create from that template, from perfection, from your immortal state. But if you stay in the matrix, then you continue to bring your light into the subconscious, and this is where you create from. So you'll never ever leave it. You'll just stay in it, and then, and not to say destroy it, because it's just a school. So you can come and be a teacher or a student or whatever. It's the same thing. You're always teaching yourself how to learn. So it's whether you teach other people, you're teaching how to teach or learning how to teach. So either way, this is just a 3D school. So it's not. It's going to be here. It's going to be here for the soup is going to be here. The meat grinder is going to be here for people to get lost in. It's not to be, not to judge it. It's for you to accept it. It's the subconscious. It's really infinite. The conscious mind is more the finite mind and more focused. They're more of a quantified mind. But the subconscious is really the all-knowing and doesn't even know how it knows. It's really not the subcon. The conscious mind is more so the subcon, because it's centralized in a sense. It's centralized or focused. Wherever the blood in the body is, that's where the consciousness is. So that's where the motion comes from, because the conscious mind or the consciousness wants motion. The subconsciousness, which knows everything, wants stillness. So the body wants the stillness. The eyes want to be closed so that you can recreate from the source within, and then you can open your eyes from within that dream, within that perfection, and open your eye and continue to broadcast from there. And then you live from that dream, and then other people become moths when they go into their relaxed state, and then they can see your dream, and then they can look at it, bring light to it, and you guys can exchange, and then you can synchronize your subconscious into that dream and leave the matrix. There's no point in even staying in this thing. Once you realize that your ancestors are in you, then you realize you are the mothership, and that you just leave the matrix. You can take your seeds out of here and then respawn in another dream. There's no point in staying in it. It's just about realizing that it's not real and accepting that it's not real. So that's really about it. 2020 Tantra, Crown Tantra, now available. Info in the description.